Good Friday evening and welcome to the NCWLIFE Evening News. I'm Grant Olson. Before we get to today's top news stories, let's take a quick look outside that weather window. And what a beautiful day today as we look down at beautiful Lake Chelan, courtesy of our Upper Butte Sky-Fi Tower camera. And you can see a beautiful day. A few clouds are rolling around in some locations. Did pick up some isolated snow flurries today, but all in all here in the Wenatchee Valley and up in the Chelan Valley as well, a beautiful day today. And it looks like it's going to stay this way for about the next 3 or 4 days. And then it's the question everybody asks me more than any other. When is it going to warm up? Well, as we take a look ahead into next week, this is going all the way into Thursday. And our weather pattern, look at that great big area of high pressure right on the west coast. That will supply us with warmer air. And look to the left of that, you can see that red area. That's also a warmer moisture flow that'll begin to move in. So we expect warmer temperatures by next week and possibly some rain showers as we get into the end of next week. And we'll talk much more about that coming up in your weather forecast a little bit later on. And now a few of the stories we're following for you tonight. The fire at the Bluebird Fruit Storage Facility in Peshastin continues to smolder and occasionally flare up 5 days after it started. And the Port of Chelan County has entered into a lease agreement for its first tenant at the Port's Cashmere District Business Park. But first, we begin tonight. Federal charges have been brought against the 23-year-old Omak man accused of making online death threats against Washington sheriffs. A federal grand jury in Spokane this week handed down 2 charges of threats in interstate communications and another charge of cyber stalking against Jaden H. Ledford. Ledford is accused of making the threats against sheriffs who said they would not enforce Washington's new gun laws. In one post referencing the Spokane sheriff, he said, quote, "Ozzie Nizovich is going to get a bullet in his skull," unquote. The fire at the Bluebird Fruit Storage Facility in Peshastin continues to smolder and occasionally flare up 5 days after multiple fire crews battled huge flames shooting from the building. Chelan County Fire District 6 Chief Phil Mosher said the concern now is walls collapsing inside that building.
We are not putting water on it. We're just letting things burn out interior, so there's still smoke coming out of the building. One of the hazards still is those walls are now freestanding, and so we've got things blocked off. We got a county road blocked off just to try to keep folks out of there, just in case one of those walls decides to go. We still have in a receiver a little ammonia that we're going to get sucked out of there on Tuesday. So there is a chance that may, if we have some type of collapse, that ammonia may come out of that receiver. We would do a shelter in place for a little bit until that dissipates. But right now we're just going to plan on getting that out of there on Tuesday.
The cause of the Sunday evening fire remains under investigation. Mosher said a dog will be brought in Monday to sniff for accelerants, which, if detected, would point to arson. The Port of Chelan County has entered into a lease agreement for its first tenant at the Port's Cashmere Mill District Business Park. Chatsworth, California-based Hearst International manufactures fruit label printers and labeling equipment. The company has agreed to lease approximately 6,500 square feet. They're expected to bring 10 new jobs and private investment exceeding $1 million to Chelan County. Founder Ari Lichtenberg said the company is looking to expand its presence in the region. Hearst International's current customers include Gebber's Farms, Allville Fruit, and Chelan Fruit. The lease agreement is signed as construction work at the former lumber mill continues. In September 2018, the port started construction on 2 general-purpose industrial buildings, each containing 16,500 square feet. They're expected to be completed in late spring. Coming up next, Mission Ridge Ski and Board Resort announced today that it plans to replace its Liberator chairlift prior to the start of the 2019-2020 season. A new fire station is coming to the Crescent Bar Trinidad area. And if you're planning on visiting the Rocky Reach Discovery Center this Sunday, you'll want to reconsider those plans. I'm Grant Olson, and you're watching the NCWLIFE Evening News.
It's estimated that 1/3 of Americans do not have a financial plan. At D.A. Davidson, their advisors are working to change that because they understand the importance of planning for the future. At D.A. Davidson, they believe in partnering together to build a strategy tailored to your needs. They spend the time and have the knowledge to help keep your financial future on track. Let D.A. Davidson Financial Advisors of Wenatchee put the strength of advice to work for you.
Arctic Refrigeration and Heating, serving North Central Washington, is proud to offer the finest heating and cooling air quality products along with prompt and professional customer service since 1984. Regardless of the temperature outside, Arctic is here for you. Arctic offers a variety of services: residential and commercial heating, air conditioning, commercial refrigeration, as well as planned fall and spring maintenance for the overall well-being of your system. Call Arctic Refrigeration and Heating for your heating and cooling needs.
Hi, I'm Cordell Schroeder, owner of East Wenatchee Mobile Storage.
If you're thinking about making a move anytime soon, check out the East Wenatchee Mini Storage brand new mobile storage service. They drop it off at your location, you pack it, and they pick it up and store it in their protected warehouse at East Wenatchee for as long as you need. When you're ready, they'll drop it off at your new home or office. East Wenatchee Mini Storage is excited to offer this brand new service to our region.
Call 509-884-8643 or find us on the web at ewministorage.com.
Welcome back. In another news, Mission Ridge Ski and Board Resort announced today that it plans to replace its Chair 2, the Liberator, prior to the start of the 2019-2020 season. That's pending approval from the U.S. Forest Service and Washington Department of Fish and Wildlife. Josh Jorgensen, Mission Ridge General Manager, says the newly purchased chair is coming from Europe and is a significant improvement for Mission Ridge skiers. The chairlift is a Doppelmar high-speed detachable quad chairlift with bubbles. Jorgensen added that if approved, this investment will offer consistency of operations and a much more comfortable ride up the mountain. The new lift will come with all new electronic systems and controls, which he says will serve Mission Ridge well for many years into the future. A new fire station is coming to the Crescent Bar, Trinidad area. Grant County Fire District 3 announced they're moving forward with plans for a much-needed fire station. Grant County Fire District number 3 already owns the property near Trinidad where the new station will be built, property that's more centrally located than the previous station, allowing for faster response times across a larger area. In addition, the station will allow the fire district to provide emergency response to some portions of Douglas County. The fire district was awarded an almost $190,000 grant from the county with $62,500 in loans with 0% interest in order for the station to be built. The grant was approved by the Grant County Commissioners. The new fire station should be completed by the spring of 2020. If you're planning on visiting the Rocky Reach Discovery Center this Sunday, you'll want to reconsider those plans. The center will be closed on Sunday so Chelan County PUD crews can finish some planned electrical work. It will reopen and resume its regular schedule on Monday. The center began its season March 1st and is open through October 31st. You're watching the NCWLIFE Evening News. Coming up next, tonight's feature story and your complete local weather forecast. That and much more still to come on the NCWLIFE Evening News. Stay with us.
I'm Tom from Alpine Air Heating and Cooling. At Alpine Air, we think of ourselves as customer service-oriented retailers. When you make an appointment, please visit our store, meet our people, see our shop. We are serious about heating and air conditioning. Carrier and Alpine Air are offering huge factory rebates and financing options for all your needs. Turn to the experts at Carrier and Alpine Air. Call for your free replacement estimate. Heat and air, call Alpine Air, 662-6846.
I'm working today.
I've got some work to do today.
Don't forget, I've got some work for you today.
Have a good first day at work, Mom.
Thanks.
Your donations to Goodwill fund job training programs right in our community.
New beginnings feel great, don't they?
Yes, they do.
Be a job creator. Goodwill. There's more behind the store.
Dear Mary Maids, just got home from a trade show and I didn't have time to pick up the house. Kids made chili. Jeff did a mud run. Oh, and Winston shredded Teddy's bed. Again, please clean it the best you can. Oh, except for the statue Max made for me. Thanks, Abby.
Hi, Abby. Clean kitchen, clean bath, clean floor, naughty cat. Poor Teddy. The statue is precious. You should keep it forever. See you next time, Mary Maids.
Welcome back to the NCWLIFE Evening News. In tonight's features story, we'll preview a series airing on the NCWLIFE magazine next week. On the NCWLIFE Evening News, we'll have several segments taking a look at the Chelan County Drug Court, a new program in the Valley that began last June. The magazine includes interviews with key team members along with 2 participants in that program. Here's a preview of what we'll see next week.
These are our community members. These are people we go to church with. These are people that, are our relatives, brothers, sisters, mothers, fathers, our children, our grandchildren. So this is a disease that does not discriminate against anyone of any color, any economic status. Right now we are facing a opioid epidemic. Before this it was a methamphetamine epidemic. Before that it was a cocaine epidemic. So we are a generation that we move from one drug to the next, to the next, to the next.
At least over 50% of our criminal caseload, or cases, I guess, number of cases, are related to drug or alcohol addiction, substance use disorder. Whether it's possession cases or it's theft, forgery, where people are doing these types of crimes in order to pay for their addiction. It is something that is a significant problem here, and it is just, it does seem like it's a revolving door.
Certainly is something that's been around for a long time. We started looking at it several years ago, and we're trying to figure out how to make it a viable option for people in our county. And there has been a lot of debate back and forth on as to how to do that. Andrew went to some trainings from other counties to look at it. We tried to put it together. Around that time, Judge Ferrara came in and was wanting to really get moving on that. So I think between the defense attorneys, our office, and the judge, we put a lot of effort into trying to create this new thing, a drug court.
I think one of the biggest pieces was, and is Loretta Stover. I think a lot of it started with Doug and Loretta sitting down just talking about, is this feasible and where would the money come from? Because treatment's not free, it's got to come from somewhere, and having the center for alcohol and drug treatment say, we can do this, we can take this on, and we'll dedicate staff to it, that's a big part of what got this going.
When it looked like we really were going to be able to implement one, I was absolutely thrilled. I know that some of the, one of the judges that retired, that was something that he would have liked to have seen prior to his retirement, as well as one of the public defenders who recently retired as well. Some of us have been waiting a long time, so this is great.
Time now for a check of your North Central Washington weather forecast. And before we get into all those details, let's take another beautiful look outside our weather window. Now we're jumping up to Billy Goat camera up in Okanogan County, thanks to Sky-Fi and their tower camera up that way. I think it's one of the taller cameras we have of all our Sky-Fi cameras. Beautiful shot down at the Columbia River, and of course the Methow River feeding into the Columbia. Lots of blue sky and a few clouds mixed in today. But as I mentioned at the top of the newscast, the question everyone asks ask me more than anything, when is it going to warm up? Well, let's talk a little bit about cold. We have set record low temperatures now many times since going back to February. We set a record today, yesterday, a record low on March 4th, March 3rd, February 13th, February 12th, and February 11th. And today, the 38th day in a row that we haven't seen a normal high temperature. And today's number 38, as I mentioned. 35 is all we could muster this afternoon. 50 is our normal high temperature for this time of year. 14 degrees our low this morning. And as I mentioned, that is a new record low. Our old record set in 2017 at 20 degrees. 68 our record high. Wouldn't that feel great right now? That was set in 2005. And we're still at 28.6 inches of snow. That's snowfall to date going back to December 1st of last year. Sunrise 6:28 and the sun sets tonight at 5:56. Now let's take a look at that surface loop and see what we can expect. Things will warm up. We'll get to that in a second. Tonight, some patchy fog developing. It's going to stay chilly. We might break another record low tonight and maybe tomorrow as well, mainly because of all these clear skies that we'll see tonight. We don't get any compressional warming, so a lot of the cold just settles in and we will see some very cold temperatures tonight. A little bit of fog for your Saturday morning too. Then we'll see mostly sunny skies. It will remain cool as we're still under a trophy situation before an area of high pressure right here moves in on Sunday. That will turn our skies mostly sunny once again after some morning fog, and we're going to stay on the cool side for Sunday. So expect a cool weekend with temperatures once again about 15 degrees below normal. Monday at noon, our next storm system moves in. We'll see about a 30% chance of snow developing late in the day as this low pushes inland, and by 10 o'clock on Monday night, that chance of snow goes up to a 50% probability. Not a lot of accumulation, maybe a half inch to an inch out of that, maybe even some rain mixed in, because by the time we get into Tuesday, we are going to see some warming temperatures. We'll see a rain-snow mix possibly in the morning. Our skies will turn partly cloudy, but look at this gigantic area of high pressure just off the west coast. That's going to grab some warmer air for us and move it right down into the Pacific Northwest, so we can expect temperatures by Wednesday with mostly sunny skies into the lower 40s. And boy, won't it feel good. Let's take a look now at your quick lube and tune forecast. Tonight, that could be a record, and 19 tomorrow could be a record as well. We're going to keep our eye on that throughout the weekend. Sunny skies in the afternoon tomorrow and 32 degrees, 34 for your Sunday as we end the weekend. And then as we start our next work week, showers, but those won't happen really until our evening hours on Monday, a 50% chance of snow. And then a nice warm up as we get into Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Still below normal, but I think most of us will take those 40-degree temperatures. 40 on Tuesday, 42 Wednesday, and 41 your high temperature by the time we get into Thursday. And that's a look at your local weather forecast. Coming up next, tonight's sports report with Eric Granstrom and more as the NCWLIFE Evening News continues right after this.
Where will you be a year from now? You could be working as a medical assistant. The Charter College Medical Assistant Certificate Program gets you work ready in 10 months. Add 5 more months to earn an associate degree. We prepare you with hands-on training and support you after graduation with job search help and interview skills. Institutionally accredited by the Accrediting Bureau of Health Education Schools, Charter has been training healthcare professionals for more than 30 years. Charter College. We work to get you to work.
There's no substitute for the power of cable TV advertising. With solely on cable TV advertising, you can reach your target audience right here in North Central Washington. We understand their viewing habits and can precisely target your customers on great cable networks like these. Call Solely On Broadcasting today and let us show you how to put your business message right in front of thousands of prospects at a very affordable price. Solely On Broadcasting, 509-888-2020. And now it's a sports update on the NCWLIFE channel.
And a happy Friday to you while Old Man Winter is wreaking havoc on the local spring sports schedule. The boys of winter are loving life. The Wenatchee Wild continue their first-round BCHL playoff series in West Kelowna tonight with Game 5, the best-of-7 series tied at 2 games apiece after the Warriors edged the Wild in overtime on Wednesday 2-1. After tonight, the series will shift to Sunday at the Town Toyota Center for Game 6. Now, due to the KPQ Home Expo presented by Localtel in the arena this weekend, the game time is late. 8:05 on Sunday. The winner of tonight's game, of course, will have the edge going into Sunday, as that team could wrap up the series by the end of the weekend. If necessary, Game 7 would be Monday at 7, also in the Town Toyota Center. Now, don't forget, you can listen for the games. Art Checker has the call locally here on 560 AM KPQ in the Valley. Also, you can watch it with a little subscription fee at hockeytv.com. Well, as we mentioned, Old Man Winter is just not giving up on his grip yet with another chance of snow today. Hopefully it won't impact the upcoming soccer schedule for today and tomorrow, but he's definitely impacted the rest of our sports schedules. Cascade was supposed to play at Kion and Benton tomorrow, but that has been postponed in baseball. Cashmere was supposed to host Orting, but there's 14 inches of snow still on the baseball field in Cashmere, so that's not happening. Wenatchee has shifted gears and will travel to Lake Stevens, hoping to play a jamboree tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock. On the girls' fast-pitch softball schedule, Eastmont's home game versus East Valley has been postponed, but the Wildcats instead will head to Sumner with Wenatchee for games tomorrow. The Panthers will play the Spartans at noon, with the Wildcats to face them at 2 o'clock. They'll try to get in some soccer in the next couple of days at Leibofto Field at the Apple Bowl. Eastmont scheduled to face Central Valley today at 3, followed by Meade and Wenatchee at 7. Then tomorrow, Wenatchee plays Central Valley at 11 in the morning. Eastmont and Meade will kick off at 3 in the afternoon. Cashmere's game that was scheduled for tomorrow in Ephrata has also been postponed. The Apple Bowl will also be the place for some high school lacrosse coming up tomorrow as the Wenatchee Valley Thunder begin their season with a game against Skyline. Start time has been moved back to 5:30 to accommodate a very busy schedule at Leibofto Field. Well, the Mariners offense continues to produce as Seattle scored 11 runs on 13 hits, including 2 home runs and an 11-3 win over Cincinnati last night in Cactus League play. Seattle didn't have to wait long to take an early lead thanks to catcher Omar Narvaez in the top of the first.
1-1 strike. And it's in the air and well hit into deep right field, and it's 2-0 Seattle on the 2-run home run here in the opening inning by Omar Narvaez.
Nobody likes to give up a home run, but I imagine right now the thing that really bothers Castillo about these 2 hitters that have come around to score was the walk that he gave up to Kyle Lewis. Otherwise you're going to give up a solo blast. It's today's game of baseball. That's a fact of life.
Now, the game played in Goodyear, Arizona last night. I don't know if there were Mariner fans at the game or just fans of home runs. By the way, for Narvaez, it was his first home run of the spring. Seattle would add 2 more runs in the 3rd, another 2 in the 6th before Braden Bishop scorched a long ball in the top of the 8th.
Well, he got a decision here. That is a fair ball and a laser for a 2-run home run off the bat of Braden Bishop. That ball was killed.
Unanimous decision. David Bell's going to come out and ask if this was fair or not. That ball was hit hard, but it was also hooking. Then again, it's pretty certain that's a foul ball. Let's see if we get a better look. We got one guy pointing foul, one guy pointing fair.
Now for Bishop, that's back-to-back nights with a home run. He has 3 on the spring. On the mound, Yusei Kikuchi worked to 4 innings, allowing 2 runs on 5 hits with 2 strikeouts to get the win. Manager Scott Service was happy with his performance, even though he did take a line drive off his leg in the 1st inning.
Really good. He gave up a couple runs early. Had a little trouble in the first inning, but once he got going after that, probably threw the ball really well. He's going to be fine. He just took a hard ground ball off the upper side. No issues there. Probably more issues trying to get the signs right tonight. We had a little issues there, seeing the signs and stuff like that. But another really good outing, moving in the right direction, continuing to build up his pitch count. And, really like what we saw again. Well, we certainly saw the power tonight. The ball that Dietrich hit off, a high fastball. And, the game's a little bit different here. You guys are going to be a little bit more aggressive, and they are stronger. A little bit more power. But, tonight, really important. And some nights, some days we've seen him have a better slider. Some nights it's a better curveball. But the fastball is always there. And, I was really happy with the way he threw tonight. He's learning. He continues to learn. Every time out there, he's learning more, whether it's, the relationship with the catcher, what the other team's going to do against him. So he's continuing to, like I said, really progress nicely.
Seattle back home in the Sportsplex in Peoria today to host the Chicago Cubs. As spring training continues, they'll be heading out in less than a week to Tokyo, Japan. That's a look at sports news on the NCWLIFE channel. Grant, back to you.
Thanks, Eric. Finally tonight, the extreme sports daredevils of today are just taking a page from those who came before. Case in point, this video on ski racing from 1955.
High in the Bavarian Alps, a ski race with a new twist gets underway. The skiers who have decided that sheer gravity doesn't give them enough kick hitch themselves to motorbikes and cars and take the fastest way home. The speeds of up to 100 miles an hour have been reached. Little wonder it's known as the most dangerous sport in the world. A single competitor puts a foot wrong, and amazingly enough, they're all still upright as they streak towards the finish. And in comes the winner, the motor ski champion of 1955.
Yes, kids, your grandparents were crazy too. If you have a video of the day you'd like to see on the NCWLIFE Evening News, message us on our Facebook page at the NCWLIFE channel. And that's going to do it for our newscast tonight. For more on these stories and other news from around North Central Washington, you can find us on Facebook or our website at ncwlife.com. And remember, if you see news happening, we'd like to hear from you. You can send us an email at news@ncwlife.com or give us a call at 888-NCWL. That's 888-6295. Also, keep it right here on the NCWLIFE channel Monday morning for Wake Up Wenatchee Valley with host Dan Kuntz. I'm Grant Olson. Thanks for joining us, and have a great weekend.
NCWLIFE channel is your home for local news, local weather, and events including live local high school sports. Watch inspiring local shows featuring local people. Don't miss Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Let's learn. Guada TV. Street Talk and other stuff. The 12th District. Life with Lisa. And the Arbiter of Stoke. NCWLIFE channel is your local TV station.
Hi, I'm Clayton Walker, General Manager at Town Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram in Wenatchee, and I'd like to invite everyone to the dealership to see how easy it is to buy your next new or pre-owned vehicle at your local dealership.
And I'm Mick Fabian, General Sales Manager, and we currently have a huge selection of new and pre-owned vehicles on the lot to choose from, including the 2019 Motor Trend Truck and SUV of the Year.
So come on down to town and let us earn your business in 2019 at 1001 North Miller Street in Wenatchee.
At Local Myth Pizza, we believe in real food, freshly prepared with only premium ingredients. Our cheeses are imported from Italy. Our sauces, dressings, and even our sausages are made in-house fresh daily. Featuring Northwest craft beers and 30 Chelan Valley wines and ciders. Family fun and amazing food. Eat local, drink local, and be local at Local Myth Pizza.
Come see why Sunset Magazine says you can't beat Local Myth Pizza.
Hey there, Wenatchee. I'm Sean Lee, and I'm inviting you to check out the NCW Movie Guide to keep up on what movies are playing in our town.
Do you have a fun or interesting video you'd like to see featured here on the NCW Life channel? It's easy. All you have to do is send us an email at newsphotos@ncwlife.com.
I'm Jim Corcoran.
And I'm Ken Osborne.
And you're watching the NCW Life channel.